Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us this afternoon for the online sessions of the European Higher Education Fair 2024. And for our first session on IT, technology, and engineering, we have our partner Mabalacat City College. And for this afternoon, we're going to have three speakers. One, we have Professor Michael Mister from MCI Management Center in Austria. We also have Camille Toussaint from Epitech, France, and then Steffi Dannenberg from University of Heidelberg in Germany. But for this afternoon, we'll let Professor Michael take the honor of our first speaker.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. So I'm very happy to present our study program, but what I need are screen sharing rights to share my presentation. So if whoever has the rights within Zoom meeting platform can grant me the rights to share my screen, I'm very happy to begin with my presentation.
Done, Professor.
Okay, excellent. So, good afternoon once again. So I'm going to present our study program, Environmental Process and Energy Engineering at MCI, the entrepreneurial school, so a small but a privately funded and very successful university in Innsbruck. So my colleagues prepared some slides to give you an idea of how life and study in Innsbruck is. So Innsbruck is the regional center, so there is no other major city nearby, even though it's just 140,000 inhabitants. So that's quite small to what you're used to in the Philippines. What we have here in Innsbruck is mountains and green space nearby. So it's an alpine campus. During winter time, there's lots of snow. So skiing season is just what is about to start. Our students come here to Innsbruck for studying, of course, but what they do in their free time, hiking, mountain biking, nature, running, climbing. And as I just mentioned, even if you haven't experienced it before, now the snowy season is about to start. We have two different campuses. So MCI 1, our modern headquarter building, has business and society studies, whereas we as environmental process and energy engineering are based in this castle-like building where we have lots of laboratory equipment inside. So it looks a little bit old-fashioned from outside, but inside it's a very modern building. We have 3,500 students, so for the size of the city, that's a lot, and we are very international. So we have 13 study programs in English, one of which is the master's program in environmental process and energy engineering. It's a full Master of Science program, so you can progress with a PhD thereafter, like I did it by myself. We have 4 semesters of teaching, where 1 semester is for the master thesis and the final exam only. I will come to the topic of a master thesis soon. We have most theses in collaboration with industrial partners. So apart from having small class sizes, the second distinguishing feature of MCI as an entrepreneurial school is that we collaborate with industry a lot, and we give students the flexibility to choose different majors. So we have plant design and operations, chemical engineering, energy engineering, as well as environmental engineering, which I'm personally responsible for managing in our master's program. So you can choose 2 out of these 4 specializations. So they all work together, and these elective modules will be a major part of our study program. How it's organized is that we have 3 semesters of teaching, with the third semester being an international semester. So if you come from the Philippines, you will have many more international students joining during the third semester, and some of our own Austrian, German, or Swiss or Italian students, that's the majority which we have, they have the opportunity to go abroad in the third semester. How our curriculum is organized, we start off with a revision course in process technology. Since we have lots of international students, we will all want to bring you to the same knowledge, to be successful in our masters, we teach skills for engineers, simulation software, like MATLAB to perform mathematical calculations in process engineering. And then once these preliminary courses have taken place, you are free to start with these elective modules. So these are the freely chosen orange boxes. So in my field, I teach, for example, advanced wastewater treatment, where we are going to design and optimize wastewater treatment plants. It's all about energy efficiency and sustainability, so keeping environmental impact low. So we want to optimize the treatment plant to consume as little energy as possible, and at the same time treat wastewater efficiently. Other courses which I teach later on in our degree program is, for example, the computational fluid dynamics module, where we are going to apply high-performance computer simulation software called ANSYS Fluent to solve for fluid flow. So both liquid and gaseous phases will be resolved. And then we have applications depending on which electives you have chosen. Finally, the master thesis and the master seminar. I should tell you more about the thesis topics which we offer and the choice between joining our research topics or working together with our industrial partners, which is what I personally recommend. So the topics where you're going to graduate in depend on which modules you choose. So plant engineering and operations, chemical engineering, and frequently chosen environmental engineering and energy engineering. So it's more or less a decision on what career path you're going to follow subsequently. So locally in Austria and in Tyrol, the local province where MCI is located in specific, we have lots of opportunities in chemical engineering, energy engineering, especially if paired with environmental engineering. So what you need to know, I told you beforehand, we have an alpine campus, an alpine environment. So most of our energy resources come from water. So renewable energy, power plants, that's a major topic and one reason why many of our students work in environmental and energy engineering. So in a nutshell, we have much more resources and energy sources available than need to be used by Austria and our province of Tyrol in specific. So it's all about power management and selling energy at the highest price to Germany and Italy, for example, which are, by the way, both countries just half an hour drive from Innsbruck. So it's very international. You can reach 4 or 5 countries within 1.5, 2 hours of travel time from Innsbruck. We have research clusters. So if you are interested in environmental process and energy engineering, it's mostly the energy and process technologies and the fluids and mechanics cluster. So I mentioned advanced wastewater treatment beforehand. So one specialization we have is membrane technology and water treatment. And I also mentions computational fluid dynamics, which is part from our computational engineering research cluster. So this is one option that you have, that you specialize in our own research and join our research groups. Alternatively, you work together with industrial partners. You should get a list of companies which we collaborate with, and we are happy to send you to our industrial partners. Going to have an internal referee, but supervision of your thesis of most theses at MCI, if requested, will be done by industry. Some impressions: we have 1,800 square meters of laboratory space, so wet chemistry labs, energy labs, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, process engineering, and analytic labs. So you see how widespread research at MCI is, and you see from these impressions what I meant beforehand, that from outside the building looks a bit old-fashioned, but it's very modern indeed. The international semester, of course, allows you to go abroad, but most come to Europe and you are international students anyway. So the advantage is that you meet students from around the world at MCI. So some partner universities that we collaborate with, just a few impressions of which universities our own students choose. And then I mentioned that we're very close to Italy. The northern part of Italy is German speaking. So most students from there, they don't study in Italy, but come to Austria, to Tyrol. It's one province and same language. So this is why to enter the Italian job market, we specialize in energy engineering. So if you're interested in energy engineering, I'm happy to share knowledge and introduce you to our partners, where we have a joint degree program from the University of Genova in Italy. So how does admission work? So no worries about coming from abroad. It's very straightforward, except for the visa process. So you need to apply early. Then we're going to help you and arrange all of that. We have a two-step application for our master's programs. Firstly, an online application with motivation letter and CV, so I can share some hints, recommendations later on. And then we have an online interview, 15 minutes of time where you can get to known to you as a person, and also the other way around. I'm going to introduce MCI once again and our study program if you have open questions. And my recommendation is apply as early as possible. There will be a Christmas break in between the years, but in February, our next interviews will take place, and that's for sure early enough to get the visa to come to Austria in time. We start with our study program first week of October, so that's when our winter semester starts. Some final impressions and most importantly, contact details. So this is our MCI Technology and Life Science Campus, robotics, all of when we have major talks, special guests, and some laboratory impressions from process engineering. So any questions I'm very happy to address right now. Otherwise, you can get in touch with my colleagues, and they are very welcoming to answer any questions which you may have. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to responding to your questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Michael, for that insightful presentation. So, from the audience, if you have any questions about the presentation of Mr. Michael, kindly leave it on the chat box or raise your virtual hand. Sir, we have a question from JD Lee.
Yes, very welcome. I expected questions about scholarships. So yes, scholarships are available. I recommend to access this web link that I just shared. There is an email address specified, and you can send applications there to get funding. What is important to know that the procedure, how it works, is you need to apply beforehand. You need to send in all your documents. These are assessed, and at the same time, you can email, and then you get a response what scholarships are available. There are some full funded scholarships, but in most cases, you're expected to make contributions on your own as well.
Thank you very much, sir. Another question from Camaro Loterte. Oh, you may now proceed to your question, ma'am, Sir Camaro Loterte. Oh. Going once. Going once. Sir Camaro, are you there?
So the audio connection, Sir Camaro, is very poor. So can you maybe also use the chat on the right-hand side? I'm going to respond verbally, but maybe type in your question in the command window on the right. Okay, Sir Camaro, very good. A question about an age limit. No, there is no age limit at all. So the only difference is that if you get discounts from your student status, then usually it's 30 years or less. But we as an institution accept students at any age. So you are welcome to apply regardless of what age you have. So then we have another question from Mrs. Batkana. I'm very interested in the MSc in Energy Engineering. Are there any bridging courses I should take if I come from a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering? No worries at all. We have our revision course in Process Technology, and our bachelor students, most of us study in our bachelor program as well. They are not specialized in energy engineering yet, so we are going to introduce you to energy engineering. So nothing to study beforehand. The only question I pass back to you. So we have energy engineering specialization, but lots of expertise is also at the University of Genova. So just think about yourself if you are happy to attend courses in Italy, the University of Genova as well. So I recommend to apply to MCI. I recommend to study in Innsbruck most of the time. But if you want to get some special courses in energy engineering, you're invited to go to Italy occasionally, which, of course, if you come from abroad, will be very interesting to do so. So JD Lee's question, is there a master's degree course like biomedical engineering or pure chemical engineering? So we don't have pure chemical engineering, but you can specialize for chemical engineering in combination with a second specialization. So for example, chemical engineering and environmental engineering is chosen frequently. However, if you ask this specific question, I should also tell you that we offer medical and sports technology studies at MCI. This will be a lot more about electronics, but includes biomedical studies to some extent. But there is no specific biomedical engineering degree program which we offer. Do you have to be a licensed chemical engineering student to enter our master's program in chemical engineering? No, that's the significant advantage that we have as an entrepreneurial school in Austria. So we don't have to accept any students, but we can select students on your own. So it won't be about your previous specialization, but you have to convince us during this online interview that you will be successful in graduating from our master's degree program. So you need a Bachelor of Science degree, but not necessarily in chemical engineering. So we are happy to welcome your application. So how competitive are the scholarship programs at MCI? I can't make a general statement because this depends on what study program and what country you come from. So difficult to predict. We have a set target number of study places and a set number of scholarships which we can award. But let's respond to me it like this. If you are looking for a half-funded scholarship, then there's quite a good success rate, whereas it will be very difficult to get full funding at MCI because there is very limited opportunity. No, so Camaro, we don't teach educational technology. So Marielle Velasquez question, so how long will it take to get acceptance if you're allowed to come to MCI, if you can get a study place? So it's usually a 2 weeks period until you get notification. So hopefully we have a study place acceptance right now. Or you can be placed on the waiting list. But in summary, the better you perform during the online application, the more likely and the faster we can offer a study place. So after February, oh no, that's the next question. If you pass the online application, will you be funded while living and studying abroad? No, that's Madel. That's two different things. You need to apply, and then you may be offered a study place. But the application for a scholarship with the email address that I mentioned at the very beginning is completely independent of the application. So you need to apply beforehand and then get in touch with the scholarship. And you may get a study place without the scholarship, or both are granted. So it's two separate decisions which we are made.
Thank you very much, Sir Michael Meister, but the time is out. Okay, so last question, how can we at least reach you so that the others who want to get in touch?
Yeah, I am going to copy the email address. So office minus UFAT, that's the German abbreviation for our study program for our department. So it more or less means environmental process and energy engineering. If you email to this address, then my colleagues will respond quickly. They know all about administration facts. And if you tell them that you come from the Philippines and joined this session today and have any specific additional questions, they are going to forward your request to me, and then I'm going to respond personally.
Thank you very much, sirs. For those audience who wants to connect with Sir Michael, you may reach out Mr. Michael at this email for additional questions so that so that you can be able to at least have a conversation. Thank you very much, sir, for that insightful presentation.
Yeah, thank you very much for this opportunity, and have a good afternoon. We are, of course, looking forward to welcoming prospective students at MCI. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you po.